Hi folks, Saturday morning. It's quite a nice day in London after a lousy day yesterday. Went out last night to see Buddy at the Fairfield Halls, and that's a place, a lovely concert and theatre complex in Croydon in South London. And it's been refurbished over several years, and we were worried whether it would ever open again as a theatre. Well, it has, and Buddy's on the what would you say, on the circuit, and a friend bought us tickets, my wife and I tickets, for our 50th wedding anniversary. Well, of course, we're of an age where Buddy Holly was an icon, a huge star, and then sadly died in February 1959 with the Big Bopper and Ricky Valens. Ah, look at that, I've got my brush in the yellow. I've got my board over my oil paints, all ready to go for the oil paints, but unfortunately I just stuck them in the paint. Now I'm going to have to sort that out later, put it in the washing pad. I'm listening to YouTube, and it's something that could affect a lot of us. It's about the massive $170 million fine Google got for allowing stuff that wasn't advertising, that wasn't suitable for under 13s, or something like that. So we've all got to be careful what we publish or how we describe it with the category. All my videos are now marked as adult only, but I know children watch my channel. There's nothing on my channel that is remotely anti-child or of danger to children for economic reasons or for other reasons. I know that some of my friends' children watch me on YouTube. It's an educational channel, although I didn't do it for that. So now, for some creators, that might the big changes might affect their revenue. Well, if it starts to affect my revenue in some way or other, I will have to do less videos on YouTube because I won't get the money for the revenue. It makes it worthwhile doing, and do more stuff on Patreon. And hope I can grow that channel. But that's all a bit depressing really, but that's the way things are. YouTube does have problems with content that it allows to be shown that even adults shouldn't be able to see, in, well, somebody's opinion anyway, not necessarily mine. Although I don't watch dodgy content on YouTube, I mostly watch political blogs and art videos, because we're always learning. Anyway, enough of that. Get my paints, with my paints. I'll put my paints down somewhere. And oh, there they are. Hold on, bear with me. I bought a couple of brushes. I buy a lot of stuff off YouTube, as we all do. A couple of 2-inch decorators type brushes, the thin ones. These sort of brushes. This is a product I've had this for a long time. It's wearing out, but it's a great friend. But the two I bought were just as expensive, or the same sort of price, but they fell apart. On video yesterday and the day before, the two I bought, I used them 2 or 3 times, and in cleaning them, the clumps of hair just pulled out. I've written a stinking message. It's not worth it. £8 just go get the money back. Not worth the effort. You still have to pay the postage and then go and post it and wrap it up. It's so I've complained, but I haven't left any feedback on it yet. So I've threatened them with feedback, with dodgy feedback, which they won't like. So maybe I'll get either new brushes, or I hope I'll get my money back. Right, very negative, isn't it? Well, anyway, Buddy was a fantastic show. it's been around in one form or other for about 30 years now. We went to an original version and we loved it, but this is very much updated, much more variety, but a standing ovation at the end with everybody cheering in the Ashcroft Theatre. Lovely to see how this theatre open, because our theatres in Sutton have shut. Council won't back them, having spent a lot of taxpayers' money in refurbishing the Seacombe Centre, named after Harry Seacombe, who lived opposite in those days, but he's dead now. So thespians have got much reduced venues for big shows. So that was a real joy to be at the Fairfield Hall yesterday in the Ashcroft Theatre, named after Dame Peggy Ashcroft. Got a cup of tea here. I haven't a clue what I'm going to do. I'm just going to do it. I'm just going to put a bit of sienna on. This is the Saunders Waterford new packet. £90 rough of fabulous paper. Probably the best paper I've ever used. It is porous, so it takes a bit of drying with a hairdryer. Well, let's put a little bit of blue in it. These are Cotman watercolours. I don't use artist quality unless I can get them for free. Yeah, we all want something for free, don't we? Right, bit of clouding in there. Just darken that over the top a bit. I'll put a bit of Payne's grey in there. Right, okay. Now, I'm going to reclip it because it's expanded, and I'm going to be careful because I've got paint to the left of me, paint to the right of me, underneath the board. So I'll carefully take those clips off, put it nice and tight. I remember going back a year or so to YouTube, and all my videos that I was publishing were being flagged as unsuitable for most advertisers. Well, they were trialling their algorithm that will pick up content that shouldn't be there or shouldn't be watched by certain age children, and it was an absolute nuisance because all the time it wasn't on, it wasn't available, so nobody could watch it. So there's no revenue. I don't get much out of it. Not me, but I'm not going viral. Right, I'll just give that a try. So take your headphones off, folks. Don't want any complaints that I should be able to pause the video. Well, I can pause the video, but it's when I unpause it, it starts a new video, and then I have to edit the whole thing together. So that's no fun. Okay, that's dry enough, I think. No, a bit more. We do get the odd troll on our channels. They moan about something, then you chat to them on a comment, and then next thing they start insulting. so they get banned. Well, not banned from watching, but they get banned from leaving any of their unhelpful comments on free videos. Right, now I suppose winter comes to mind, so let's do some winter trees. I'm not doing any drawing, so I'll use my large hake. Can use artist quality. Can use well, anything. You can use sable brushes to do this. Bear in mind that this is all about the lightness of touch. And try to get some nice shapes to your trees, to your winter trees. It's easier to do with a sable, a large round sable or nylon mix and stuff. But if you press too hard, the water will just flood and you'll lose your dry brush effect like that. Let's come down the hill a bit. Right, that'll do. I'm going to put some foliage back in there, some warmer greens. Well, green's not really warm, is it? And try not to make your trees look too much like round balloons. It's quite difficult to, I know, but I'll just use my small hake now with the cadmium yellow on. Cup of tea, got my tea. I'll forget to drink it. Right, I'll just indicate a bit of a path through here. Some parts of the UK have had some snow, but we haven't. We very rarely get much snow in London. Right, now we want some. I'm going to be a bit revolutionary here. I'm going to use one of my texture brushes to put in some grass. I'll use this one. Now this is a cheap brush, but it's all. They've got pins that hold the handle into a ferrule, and even a Pro Art brush fell apart the other day. I think it was that one. The handle came off. I stuck it once, but I just banged a couple of pins through, snipped them off, and hammered them over. So that'll never come off now. The bristles might come out, but the handle will never come out again. Right, I'm going to use this brush and see what we can do with that. So I use let's have a bit of burnt umber. Can mix a bit of red. So you show the shape of the ground. A bit of green in there now. Some snow in there. Bit experimental this. So if any of you are creators on YouTube, that is, watching this, just bear in mind that we have to take the responsibility, not YouTube. Right, now put the yellow brush back and put in some heavier stuff in here. Too much water. I'm mixing a bit of Payne's grey and a bit of cad yellow, a bit of the brown. See how rough this paper is? For £90 it's just incredible. Now there's some blue, some yellow. Now we can put in well, I was thinking of putting a pine tree in it, but no, I won't. I'll resist the temptation. Oh, that's a bit on the other side. So there, it's very rough. You have to really work at getting this the paint to flow if you're doing dry brush. Okay, I'm just letting that the background trees dry a bit before I start to put a bit of filigree in there. Maybe we could put a bit of a tree coming up there. I think we will. So let's have. Alright, we'll have the light coming from the left. So we can put a bit of shadow cast. Just push the brush here and there. Oh, this is a rigger for some of this. Right, yes. Right, take a bit of time on this. Right, okay. So there's one there, we'll put another one on the other side, but coming out to this here, just to balance. Usually just a bit of burnt umber and Payne's grey. Okay, put in some I'm going to put a bit of alizarin and ultramarine behind the tree. Now hopefully that cooler colour gives an impression of something going on behind the trees. Not heavy enough there, and that hasn't dried, so. Okay, we'll put some detail, put some shadow in. Shadow. Okay. I'll dry that now, so headphones off. Now, find me dryer. Okay. Now, one idea is that since the light's coming from the left, we want to show some shadows coming in from there. Coming in from the other side. Right now, we'll put some filigree back in. This is all very simple stuff. The hardest thing is finding something different to paint, especially when you've done 2,500 videos. Try to keep it going. That's why I like to go into the oils and acrylics, because it freshens you up a bit. And then we'll do a bit up here. Right, okay, now a bit blue, touch of red, up. And we just put in some justifies those shapes and all that dry brushing. Oh, just adds just a little bit of detail. It's all suggested, really. Ted Weston produced some beautiful snow scenes, very impressionist. a bit darker there. That one. Ah, God. Right, there's nearly some content not suitable for children then. Look, I've dropped my brush in the burnt sienna. Right, dip it in the water and get it all off. Okay. Get the palette back. Right. Okay, I'll do. Just put a bird in. Oh, done it again. I've got a problem with my hands, guys. I've got arthritis in my hands. I can't always grip things as I would like to grip them. I find it quite difficult to hold a pen because my hands tighten up. I'm not after sympathy, but we all get old. And I'll put a signature on it. Oh dear, I'm going to write on messy.